This is the last episode.
Alright, I just want to open up.
Can of whoop ass.
I'm just gonna. Oh, god dang it. No, actually, a legitimately bad thing happened today that I don't want to talk too much about, like details or whatever, but horrible things happened at Hurt Records. If you guys don't know, friend of the show, Ben Down, something happened, and Hurt Records is currently in a limbo state. I'm not going to go into the details because I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, but I'm scared. I'm scared for the future of Hurt, and that's how my day started.
You're still staff, technically, right?
No,
You're like
Hurt Records street team,
yeah.
but I don't know whatever that is. You can call that whatever. I'm that, but I don't know. Stuff's happening and it's making me scared. And I hope everyone.
Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, well, go tweet at Ben Down that you love the boy because he deserves some love right now. So
tell him he's nice.
Tell him big sex. Just type in at Ben Down # big sex. That's all you got to do.
Just no emojis, just straight up, just big sex.
He'll love it.
Okay,
He'll
cool.
love it, I promise. So hey guys, this is the last episode. Sorry for. All right, anyway, this is the last episode podcast. My name is
Slim Shady. We used that joke before, but fuck it.
We have.
I wasn't looking at you, so I couldn't see you visibly pause.
I have 6 new messages in my last 20 seconds.
That'd be so fucking popular.
Woo! That's a word's never been used for me, except for the letter "un" before it. All right, now so for all the people
You've lost me so bad on that joke.
Yeah,
I have no idea. What does that even mean? What did you just say to me? That wasn't
All
English.
right, so for all of the listeners that decided to stay and haven't turned the podcast
After the
off,
first 2 minutes when they didn't jump ship.
yeah, I think that's where we lose most of our
First 2 minutes.
First 2 minutes. So if you stay after that, I think you understand. Cough. Hey.
Wheeze.
So I'm thinking about and Andres is not hyped for this at all, but I don't know. I think it's gonna happen, and he has no say in it, even though he does. I'm thinking about buying a capture card and
Can't force me out of my own home to do this.
Too bad. I'm thinking about doing. You know how Let's Plays are dead? I'm gonna do that. All right. So
It's all
maybe.
in the titty streams on Twitch.
Yeah,
That's
I
where
don't
the
know.
real money is.
I'm figuring something out. The last episode.
Let's just
you
become Hearthstone streamers.
sure,
And then not make any money because that's already been established.
Yeah.
It's like all the Five Guys make money off of it. And that's it.
The last episode YouTube channel is going to get more content in this year. That I promise. I don't know what it's going to be.
It's going to be art of you drawing in MS Paint.
It's just going to be me drawing Klonoa art, but I have zero skills.
Or without diapers. It's very important to me.
Both. It's going to be varied content, guys. We're not a one-trick pony over here in the last episode. Studios Inc.
Lewis might. I still don't think Lewis has played any more games than Black Ops 3, Klonoa, and Swan Battle for Bikini Bottom. And Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that's
I don't
about
think
it.
he plays any video games outside of that. I think it's
Yeah.
all he plays when I leave.
I play a lot of games, but
I don't believe you.
I know. Well,
Did you talk about none of them other than those 4 all the fucking
I'm
time?
going to pick up my Switch right now.
Oh, that segments into our first thing.
Yeah,
You bought Bayo 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
I didn't think you were excited for Bayo 1 and 2.
I'm so excited.
Launch day, did not expect that from you.
Okay, so I'm sure everyone heard the little whistles. So I'm going to go through all the games that I have purchased on my Nintendo bench. Super Mario Odyssey, Axiom Verge, Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Brothers. Yes, the arcade archives.
Oh, wait,
I'm sorry.
the
It was a
Mario
mistake.
Brothers?
It was a mistake.
You mean Mario Brothers?
Super Mario Brothers, arcade archives. Yes.
Why?
It was a mistake.
Yeah, I was about to say, why?
I bought RE Revelations 2, Metal Slug 3, because yes, Skyrim, SteamWorld Dig, LA Noire, Sonic Mania, Shovel Knight, Mighty Gunvolt Burst, which is fun, but quick. Rocket League, Mario Kart 8, and Doom, and Bayonetta 1 and 2. So yeah, Bayonetta 1 and 2. Cough. Came out on this Nintendo Switch this week. And if you guys don't know, Bayonetta was directed and made by the boys that made the first Resident Evil games. And
Hideki Kamiya.
Yeah, Devil May Cry.
Formerly who were Clover Studios and then became Platinum Games.
Yes, Platinum Games. So
And Platinum Games doesn't always make the best stuff. They've made a little...
What else have they done?
The Bayo series. They did that Legend of Korra game. They did that TMNT game. They did that good Transformers game.
Okay.
They did
cool.
Metal Gear Rising Revengeance.
People
And they also did the gameplay for Nier Automata.
Oh.
They also did Wonderful 101 as well on the Wii U.
Very interesting IMDb page.
They make a lot of stuff. They're Platinum. I will always describe them as people who make games that are designed to make no money.
Got it. Makes sense.
Because most of their games did not make money.
Yeah.
Legitimately, without Nintendo a couple of years ago, essentially fake buying them and letting them just make Bayo 2 for the Wii U and Wonderful 101, they would have been dead.
Yeah, I agree.
And actually, for real, they talked about it recently, and I think about a couple weeks ago they did an interview. Nier saved Yoko Taro and Platinum Games' like future.
Yeah, makes sense.
That game saved them.
Yeah, I totally.
They weren't doing so great in terms of money.
Yeah, I always forget. I know the name Platinum Games.
Yeah, they've been around for a while. And
I know that name, but
they don't do like Metal Gear Revengeance did well because
people like that
because Metal Gear was attached to it.
They made the only good Transformers game.
Yeah, well, no, there's like Rise of Cybertron is good.
I never played Rise of Cybertron.
It's like a cool like third-person shooter.
Yeah, I know it's awesome.
The sequel isn't as good, but it's the first one's neat. The designs were so cool in that game,
and I hear
that the toy makers based toys off of those designs only.
Yeah,
Platinum did not make that though.
No, okay.
That team I don't think exists anymore. I think they dissolved or they were bought.
Got it. Anyways, Bayonetta. I think so. Bayonetta is.
How does it feel to play? How does this game feel? Like, did you ever?
Okay, so yeah.
How much did you know about Bayonetta gameplay wise?
I guess you just don't know. I did play like the first Bayonetta when it came out, but I didn't own it. I don't remember how I played it. But
yeah, that's weird because.
But I remember.
Who did you know who had Bayonetta 1?
I know. I have no idea, but I remember playing it and thought this is like Devil May Cry, but 10 times better.
Oh, that is exactly what Bayonetta is.
Exactly.
That's what all their games ended up becoming, just evolutions of each other.
Exactly. And so my thought was like, because I love Devil May Cry, and so when I was playing this, or when I played it, I was like, this is great, but I never bought the game for some reason, and it's been 7 years since then, or 9 years since then, I guess. So I remember when they announced that Bayonetta 1 and 2 were coming to the Switch, I was like, oh, cool, I can finally play these games. And I never played Bayonetta 2 at all.
Yeah.
And
then they locked to the Wii U.
And then they announced Bayonetta 3 is also coming out exclusively for the Switch. So I was like, okay, I'm dipping into this series because I know it's amazing and let me do this.
Yeah.
And so...
How are you liking Witch Time?
Oh, buddy, first of all, I'll say, I'm really bad.
That's totally fine. You're not meant to be good at Platinum's games at first.
Yeah, I'm so bad.
And Bayo is pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Like it's not like original DMC3 hard.
No.
Did you know about that, right? The original version of DMC3 was like the difficulties were fucked up, so it was a harder version. It's not like that. Where it's like kind of unfair.
No.
But Bayo has mechanics going on, and they're not that easy to grasp.
And it's hard because it's so fast. It's you kind of have to. You won't get it quickly at all.
And you're not meant, honestly, for people, because I know there are people going to be jumping in. Mm-hmm. Don't feel bad about putting it like an lower difficulty.
Yeah, I'm playing it on normal, and
because I've always kind of thought of these games as essentially once you beat them once just to like get the experience and the spectacle of like fighting the cool bosses and just cool scenarios or the amazing music in that game,
fantastic music, fun dialogue.
But once you beat it once, the strength of those games are for people who like getting better at games. Mm-hmm. Like it's what their strength is. Like they're essentially single player fighting game training rooms.
I see what you mean.
Where every enemy is just a practice dummy to get better combos at. Yeah. Learning how to do better combos, how to take no damage, better witch time, all kinds of, because the skill ceiling is always high for those games for doing perfect.
The first one. So I've heard, because I've done a lot of research before I got these games, and I've heard Bayonetta 2 is like so much, like Bayonetta 2's normal is Bayonetta 1's easy.
Yes, Bayonetta 2 is much easier.
So
not in a bad way, it is just an easier game.
And so,
because they wanted it to do well on the Wii U, because they're like, hey, we're making this for a console I hope that nobody owns. Yeah. Well, at the time, I don't think they knew that, and they wanted to sell.
Yeah. So the way I'm going to go through these games is I'm going to play Bayonetta 1. I'm on chapter 9 already. And
you're pretty close to the end.
Yeah, exactly. I've been playing it like.
It's also Platinum's games. Their main games aren't super long. Yeah. Generally, Nier Automata's long. That's because it's an RPG weird thing. They're not meant to be that long because you're meant to just
replay,
redo chapters and other difficulties. Like getting like a platinum.
Yes.
Perfect platinum is not easy.
You have to not get hit,
and then do it good.
Do good. Yeah.
Perfect. That's why it's called that.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is go through Bayo 1 and then go through Bayo 2 and then replay Bayo 1 and 2 and just kind of do the cycle until I die. Yeah. I just play 1 and 2. It's consecutive, like back to back forever. I feel like I could do that.
I would maybe stick to Bayo 1 a little bit longer because it's the gameplay feel like a bit of a downgrade from 2.
I was thinking about
just
2
because you're gonna miss options from 2 that are not in 1.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about that because
it's like playing P4 Golden and playing P3.
Yeah.
Not even FES or like portable, just playing P3.
Yeah.
It's like a gameplay downgrade that feels kind of
I might
bad.
end up doing that instead just because I'm going through Bayo 1 so fast. I didn't think I was gonna go through it this fast. I thought it was gonna take me like a couple weeks. It's like
an 8 to 10 hour game.
I'm gonna beat this game in like the next 2 days. Like,
it's not a super long game.
Oh, yeah, so I'll probably go through Bayo 1 twice and then I'll go through Bayo 2.
I think I've talked about the ending of Bayo 1 in this game. Do you know about it?
Yeah, it was an accidental spoiler. I was watching a
because
review.
it's been so long that I've talked about it before, like how it's one of my favorite endings of all time.
I was going through.
It's so awesome.
I don't know all of it.
Yeah, because there's a lot in there that I'm pretty sure you still have not seen.
Yeah. So
there is a very good cutscene.
I was watching a review, and it was one of those spoiler warnings. I was like, spoiler warning, here we go. And I was like, wait, what? No,
Yeah, you're like, I'm not paying attention. Wait, hold on, I can't.
Yeah. And so I saw like one thing, and I was like, oh no.
You didn't see much. The finale of Platinum's games are usually their highlights.
Yeah.
And Bayo 1 is still one of my favorites.
I remember you talked about the ending of Nier Automata for like 7 hours last episode.
It's one of my favorite endings of all time. And that was because Yoko Taro was like, maybe I can do something with this. Yeah. And then it was awesome.
Do like a commentary on video games.
Like Wonderful 101s is like Gurren login levels of like excess hype and just over the top flavor. That's what they're good at. They're good at big endings.
Yeah.
And Bayo 1 was the one that set the standard because holy shit, Bayo 1's like final, I think, hour or 2 hours is the best part about the game.
Cool. I'm excited.
In terms of like playing it the first time, that is like the best part. It is so cool.
I recommend Bayo, this collection. Just get, if you have the space, just get them digitally, but you can get them physically either way. I found out that the physical has a reversible cover where you can switch it to just Bayonetta 1.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's not just like, oh, it looks bad. Because sometimes reversible covers, like, they're reversible, but they don't look like a game anymore. It's just like, no.
Yeah, Splatoon 2 has that.
Literally, you can flip it around and like, it has a spine, it has a back, it has like, it's just Bayonetta 1 cover.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I didn't know that, and I'm so upset. But I recommend for everyone who, if you own a Switch, get Bayonetta. You'll enjoy it.
Yell it to yourself.
Everyone will. I think it's hard not to enjoy this game.
Yeah, even if you're like, I feel bad that like I'm like, if you feel, I know I've talked to people before where they don't like these kinds of games because they feel like they're not good enough to play through.
Yeah. Them. They're not, or I'll hear like, I don't get it, like the humor or the style. They're just like, the
style is very out there for sure.
It's super. That's something that you all should know.
Like the cutscenes are very strange with how they're directed, where they're like sometimes just art stills with dialogue.
Well, it's not. The dialogue itself is just.
Well, but then that's kind of the charm of it.
Exactly. It's a charming game. The dialogue is way over the top. It's Japanese, way over the top. Like,
but if you got to put it on easy, just put it on easy.
Guys. Yeah, put it on easy.
No one is judging you for playing a game and having fun with it.
Yeah.
My first time playing Bayo, I was like, I got to put this shit on easy.
Yeah, I've thought about it so many times.
I just want to see this game. I'm putting it on easy. Because whatever, you bought the game. Who the fuck cares what you do with it? You paid for it. Have fun.
I'll eat it if I want.
Because this genre just does naturally attract like some gameplay elitists.
Bayonetta?
They used to call it. I've always called it character action.
Okay, makes sense.
Some people call it hack and slash, and that's
it's not
wrong.
Yeah,
that's Muso's what they're referring to, which is just you're mashing buttons and you kill a ton of enemies.
DMC5.
Character action. Like, it's just you're a character doing very complex moves against enemies that are sometimes intelligent, sometimes not.
You have to be very accurate. More accurate than you think.
Like the DMC games, Wonderful 101, kind of. It's like a weird, like, Pikmin character action game. Bayonetta, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, the Transformers game. Korra, but even though that's like a really basic version of it.
Yeah.
Whatever DMC5 is, which totally exists, Capcom. Stop. We know it exists. We've seen the leaks. Just announce it, for fuck's sake. Whatever that game is going to look like.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny? I don't know if you can I don't know if you can understand this, but playing Bayonetta makes me want to, like, kind of makes me excited for Dark Souls on the Switch. Does this make sense to you at all? It's literally,
do you mean having a game that challenges you?
Yes. Maybe
sure.
That's it.
No, I get that. Yeah.
Maybe that's it. Because I've never really liked challenging games. It's like,
there's not your thing. Like,
no.
We talked about it before. You don't like, that's not the kind of person you are.
Look at the kinds of games that we've talked about. Like, the kinds of games I play are like
honestly,
turn off my brain and have fun.
Like, I would get a lot more of Cuphead than you would.
Yeah.
Because
you know what? Although Cuphead I feels more like a Mega Man type of hard.
It's more of a gun. It's a Gunstar Heroes is how it plays.
Okay.
But it's just that I like the challenge of it is alone what's sold.
Got it. See, the challenge, like for Mega Man's a good example. Like the challenge of Mega Man,
good, fun, fair challenges are what sells me on games.
Yeah. See, for like, I never looked at Mega Man as like, oh, these are challenging games. That's why I like them. I thought of it as like, oh, these are fun. That's why I like them.
Oh, that's not how I saw them at all.
Yeah, exactly. So that's not how. Yeah, which is I guess makes sense why the Mega Mans that I like are the ones I like. Like I like Mega Man 2 and Mega Man X are my two favorite, and those are arguably the easiest ones. Like those are
the X series gets really hard later on.
Yeah,
they get like kind of stupid.
Yeah,
like some crazy wall jump stuff. It's like, oh man.
Yeah, and I played through like not every Mega Man, but a good amount of them.
Yeah, we talked about it. I value the challenge more than the experience of a game.
Yeah, which is probably why you don't like Bioshock Infinite, because you don't like good experiences. I'm kidding. All right, that was
seamless
weird.
editing.
Seamless editing. No one will ever know.
By Big Boy himself.
Big
Girls.
Big the cat himself.
I know some people might know this by now because it's like a very common like fun fact.
Correct.
You know John St. John, the voice of Duke Nukem, is Big the Cat?
What?
You know that, right?
No.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
What?
John St. John is Big the Cat.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Mr. Blow It At Your Ass and all that kind of stuff. That's Big the Cat.
All right, I like Big now.
What about Big E? What about Biggie Cheese from the movie Barnyard?
What about Biggie the cat? What about Biggie the Froggy?
I mean Froggy.
What do you mean Froggy?
I like frogs. I don't like Froggy. Frogs are cool.
I don't know why I side.
What is your Lewis? What is your stance on amphibians and reptiles?
I'm a lobster
Hot
man.
or not? Smash or pass? Amphibians and reptiles.
I'm a lobster fan, and only
those
because,
are crustaceans.
Only because of Jordan Peterson.
That's because that's funny, haha meme, but also life lesson.
It's funny, yeah, exactly.
But
the first
you're
chapter
ignoring
of
my
book,
question. I know you're making you uncomfortable again.
Smash or pass?
But you got to tell me, how do you feel about amphibians and reptiles?
I always get all nervous and shy when I have to talk about smashing or passing amphibians.
Reptiles or amphibians.
Yeah.
Like okay, if I gave you a corn snake, how would you feel?
Fine.
What about like a frog?
Less fine.
Horned lizard.
Very fine.
A garden snake that can bite you but won't kill you with poison.
All.
Yeah, see. So you're not a fan of snaky boys?
I'm a fan of snaky boys as long as I know I'm like.
So you would touch a slimy, filthy toad and frog.
I've touched all of these things.
Sick, cool. You're on my side. I think amphibians and reptiles are dope.
Okay, see, but I don't think they're dope. I think they're fine.
Not in my wheelhouse.
Yeah,
frogs are cool, man.
Frogs are fine.
They're cute and they're fat and they look stupid sometimes. I love them.
I'll say this: I went on a rabbit hole for like 3 months researching frogs. Only because I wanted to get to the bottom of Alex Jones's conspiracy. And
turn the freaking frog's gay?
Yeah, and I learned a lot that he's not
entirely off.
He's not entirely
base.
wrong, which by the way brings me to a point. We talk about Alex Jones a lot in this podcast.
We don't support him at all, by the way.
I support his right to say things.
No, I will support he can say whatever he wants.
I'll even say this. I'll support that I need him to continue saying things because
it makes me laugh, and that is where I draw the line.
He has a great voice. Yeah,
I draw the line and everything else with that man.
But
He
I'll
just
say
makes
this.
me laugh.
I'll say this. Every time I do research on what he says, I find more
than you thought there would be.
I find more of what he says more correct than anyone else gives him credit for. And I'll say this, like listening to him on Joe Rogan, which I think every human needs to listen to his podcast with Joe Rogan. It's
an interesting
4.5 hours of him getting high talking about crazy stuff
and seeing a generally rational man talk with someone,
because he'll go completely crazy and then all of a sudden go for like 10 minutes giving sources about his stuff, and look up those sources. They're not bad sources. They're actually legit. Like
they could be false in the future, but they're not all made up by crazy.
Pretty much what it is they're good sources. He draws crazy like conclusions from them though. Like,
he's looking for gold in the copper mines is what he's been doing.
Like the frog thing, like it's one specific type of frog
with
that
reacts I read that story and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
That do actually react weirdly to their sexual behavior with fluoride. That's it. It's not. It's
like out of like 100 frogs.
The government is not purposely putting fluoride to make people soy boys. That's not a thing.
Oh, don't bring that word up, man.
I love
that word. Bothers me.
I like that word because it
is ruined
so bad.
Forums that I go on to now.
It's better than cuck or whatever. Like
no, but I can't talk about anything where it's like. Where it's like, what music do I listen to if I'm a soy boy now? I'm like, man, fucking everything is ruined again. Because I thought we were over like these stupid generic, like general slurs for like dumb or weak men.
Have you ever been on this thing called the internet before?
No, but
I guess not.
They used to be funny, and now they're not. Now it's just mean.
Okay, I'll give you that.
That's what I mean. It's like it used to be like, oh, that's kind of a funny term you made up or whatever.
They're more mean than they are funny now. There's still nuggets of funny in it.
Like I miss calling people like patricians ironically for music. I miss that.
Follow if you want, like follow Owen Benjamin. Like he's a great example of a comedian who can use words like soy boy and not be annoying about it. Like,
it's just
it's hard to do, but he's actually really good at it. So
fucking.
There's only a couple of people that can do it.
The internet sucks.
The internet sucks.
They almost ruined like the new MGMT album for me.
This week has been a perfect example of, man, I need a break.
But fuck all that shit. We're talking about stuff that is not that, because man, we don't need to talk about that shit either. We were there. We were alive.
All right, let's talk about
new big boy topic for big boys and big girls.
Let's not start.
Let's talk about.
We'll do the Black Panther at the end, I think.
Yeah, weird movie news for game tie-ins this year.
You guys heard of Call of Duty?
Yeah, your favorite video game series of all time.
My favorite video game.
Turned from a boy to a bigger boy.
Yeah, from a slightly larger boy.
It just increased your mass just by like an inch all the way around.
Starring Tom Hanks. The boy becomes slightly larger boy.
Mimi Tom
Directed
Hanks.
by Penny Marshall. I'm sorry I stole your jokes.
A Penny Marshall for your thoughts.
Yeah. All right, anyways.
Oh, yeah, this fucking... I didn't know about this. I missed this. Because I usually, when I hear video game movie thing, I go, that's not happening.
Yeah.
Because they almost all the time don't. But then...
Or if they do, they're god-awful terrible and no one needs
like
to
the
watch
Doom
it.
movie.
Doom,
or
Assassin's Creed, like, just...
They're forgettable or they're terrible.
Yeah.
Or they're a weird runaway success like the RE movies.
Yeah. Well,
which I
feel like those are only good because... No, I don't know. I don't get it. Never mind.
They know who they're selling to and they keep making them.
But I feel like when it started, I think they tried.
They kind of
And then
tried.
I think they ran away.
After the first movie, they went, man, our original character, also known as my wife, the director, he's married to the main actress. It's like, man, she's pretty cool and hot, huh? Yeah. Let's make it all about her. Mm-hmm. And then Chris is there too, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's not what I wanted. And man, they're dumb movies. And that's it. Like, they don't offend. Like, they used to be offended by them. But I was like, you know what? They weren't trying to be the games for a long time. I can't be mad at them for that. So whatever. But recently with game movies, they're going to be real. Like, for one, the Tomb Raider movie, well, the new one, because it's based off the new reboots that
the one with
Ubisoft
Toby
made,
Turner,
is coming out this year. Like, there's a trailer for it and everything. It is coming out.
Okay.
And they were showing off like production photos from the Sleeping Dogs movie last year. So these are kind of becoming a thing, some of them at least. But one of them is the Call of Duty live action movie that they've been talking about since like what, 2015? Before Activision Blizzard like opened up like a movie/TV studio.
They've been talking about this since like 2011 when Black Ops 1.
They signed on, like there's a news that they signed on the Sicario 2 director.
Makes sense.
But
I never saw those movies because why?
Sicario 1 is dope. It's a great movie.
I don't like dumb action movies like that.
It's not a dumb action movie.
Okay.
It's a movie about the cartel.
Yeah, it doesn't sound interesting to me at all.
Yeah, which is lame and you have bad taste in movies.
Sure.
Jokes.
Hey, Prometheus is a great movie, all right?
It's a fine movie with dumb moments.
Yes.
It would be way better if they never attached to aliens.
It's a fun mix of 5s and 9s out of 10s.
Like Alien Covenant is the worst of Aliens, and Prometheus.
No, Alien 3 is the worst. No, Alien Resurrection.
No, it tries to be all through those movies and it fails.
You're right. Covenant tries too hard to be Alien 3.
It tries to make everybody happy and it fails at that.
Anyways, Call of Duty. Way more important movie.
Would you give a damn or a hell if this movie ever comes out?
Yes, only
because this movie is like Call of Duty essentially is just the campaigns were either the Band of Brothers HBO show.
Yeah.
Like Call of Duty 1 through 3 were just Band of Brothers, which is a fantastic show.
Yes.
Or they were just like 80s action war movies with like big spectacle and stuff. Like they got Hans Zimmer from Modern Warfare 2.
Or you're Treyarch and you do whatever you want.
But will they do that for Call of Duty?
Yeah, no. Not for the movie.
As like
the movie, I guarantee it will be just a dumb action movie.
Do you think they'll pull an Assassin's Creed movie where they put a little bit of the game story and then just make up their own thing?
Yes.
Like most of it?
Yeah.
They'll do that?
I think it's going to be its own. I don't even think it's going to be related to any of the Modern Warfare or Black Ops series.
So what setting? Fake future that they made up? World War II? World War I?
It'll probably be
Vietnam.
My guess, it'll be like current
Modern War.
It'll be like somewhat near future. Like this takes place in
2025 or whatever.
2020 something. Yeah. Maybe not. It'll probably be something like that. I don't think it'll be as crazy futuristic looking as like Black Ops 2. But
yeah, Black Ops 2 went like
which is dumb because Black Ops 2 takes place in 2025 and it's way too futuristic for that.
The year is incorrect.
The year is incorrect, but whatever. But I
so you think they're just going to play it super safe?
Yeah. It's Call of Duty. Do you think they're going to go out of the box?
See, I would have agreed with you like a couple years ago, but I'm thinking about it now.
By the way, this is coming from someone who defends Call of Duty.
No, it's the business of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because even though Call of Duty is still pretty relevant in the brain space of video games, but it's been noted it has been going down in terms of sales
And we talked about this. It goes down like
every year.
The way Apple goes down. It's still on top, but it's less on top than it used to be.
But you don't see like your average Joe Schmo talk about Call of Duty as much or as passionately as they used to.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
They're playing other games, or they just don't.
They're playing PUBG.
Or they quit games.
Or
they're like,
and they're actually living
either
lives
like they quit
real
games
humans.
and moved on because they were casual players.
Yeah, or they were children.
Like that's the thing. The biggest base of people who buy video games, period, is the casual person.
Yeah.
It's not a slight against people who don't play games hardcore.
No.
It's just what the sales are made up of.
Madden and Call of Duty.
They either quit games or they're playing whatever's hot, which is your PUBGs and your Overwatches or whatever, or your Destiny 2s, although that's not as true anymore.
Battlefront 2, I'd say, is up there.
Battlefront 2 is still decently up there. It didn't sell what they wanted. It still sold a good amount.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, would they try to take a risk to get people to remember Call of Duty?
Not in the movie.
Or are they just going to be like, let's play it how you remember it to bring you back in, like they're like rebooting an 80s movie or something, where it's like, you remember this, right?
Yeah.
Remember Call of Duty? Like, are they trying to do that for people?
I think they're going to do that. I think that they might try something out of the box for games, but I don't think they're going to do it for movie, because why would they?
Yeah, you're right. It's like a movie investment. It's more expensive.
Exactly. Like, just understand how movies are made. Remember, this isn't a video game we're talking about. It's a movie. And movies are not harder to make in some ways, but I think a video game movie is harder to sell to the average
Movies
investor.
are harder to make your money back on.
Well, like, think you're in like a room talking to someone who, like an investor, to make this movie for you. How are you going to sell a Call of Duty movie?
Call of Duty is a globally known brand, and yada, yada.
You're not gonna be like, we're gonna do out of the box thing, because it's like, no, you're not. It's not gonna happen. This is gonna be a boring movie, boring action movie.
Are you gonna go see it anyways?
Yes.
That's my real question that I wanted to know.
Yes, I am.
All right, let's go to we're gonna go in order of interesting movie news, because it's only gonna scale up. The second one that I want to talk about,
SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. The movie.
Yeah, the movie. You mean the second? Okay,
the first SpongeBob movie.
That second SpongeBob movie, not that bad.
No, it's great.
When it's
I think it's
that
actually
CG
great.
shit is like kind of boring.
Yeah, but it's not bad.
But the bit where it becomes Mad Max got a legitimate good laugh out of me.
It's that movie. The Sponge Out of Water is a legitimately great animated movie.
Yeah,
like it's just great. Like it's
a fun time for what it is.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't watch it. If you haven't watched it,
I skipped it because the advertising was look at this 3D stuff with the superheroes. I'm like, man, I don't care about that.
The advertising was way too like kids are gonna love this.
Wasn't even close to like talking about what the movie even was.
The CG stuff is like only like the last like 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, and it's the weakest part of it for sure.
Yeah, it's the weakest part, but you know,
not a bad movie.
No, not at all.
If it's on Netflix, which it might be by now, maybe go check it out while you're like doing the dishes or whatever.
All right, which movie are we actually?
Well, speaking of kids properties, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, the longer that series is gigantic.
I'm curious about your opinions here.
Makes me feel so weird because I was actually, no joke, on this series the night it came out.
Oh, really?
Because the night it came out, there was some buzz on a couple forums of like, wait, there's some shit in this game. Like because now it's famous for like putting together like the plot of it and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But in the first game, I was like, oh, this is like some like kind of simple horror game with like these neat like budget graphics for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then people were like, we were diving in for like days going in, like looking into what the fuck are these drawings and putting together like all the stuff going on. And then the moment Markiplier played it, I'm like, this is gone, isn't it? Yeah. And then the guy kept shitting out sequels like every other year.
Actually, I wouldn't. I'd say PewDiePie was higher on that.
No, because Markiplier was the first big guy who played it.
Nope, PewDiePie. This is incorrect.
I was there the night he uploaded that fucking video.
There's no
I was
way.
there.
PewDiePie was way bigger though.
No. The first big person to call attention to that game was him.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Dude, I was there. I spent hours like getting fucking screenshots from
Are we
this game.
fighting about first?
Yes, because I was actually there.
All right, no, okay.
I might even still have those fucking screenshots.
I refuse. Okay, I never put my foot down on the podcast for any topic. The only one I will put my foot down is I refuse to have a fight about who's first about something.
Oh, Five Nights at Freddy's?
Yeah.
Of all fucking series?
Especially for something like this.
Because I legitimately kind of liked the first game for what it was.
I don't think I've ever touched a Five Nights game.
It was like a simple like, hey, don't get pop scared or whatever. But I think the gameplay idea was super neat.
Okay.
Like you have to monitor like the door. Like it was a cool
So what's happening with the movie situation?
Well, for one, I can't believe they're fucking making a movie.
Yeah.
But they recently announced the director, the Harry Potter director, Chris Columbus.
What?
AKA the guy who directed Pixels.
Oh.
Of all people to pick,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's the guy who directed the first 2 Harry Potter movies and Home Alone.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, neither did I. Also, guess what studio is producing it?
I don't know.
Blumhouse.
All right.
Because of course they did. Because of course they did.
Stop. Now I want to watch this.
Because Blumhouse will throw the dice at anything and hope it sticks.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Blumhouse produced... let's talk about it. Blumhouse produced Insidious, Paranormal Activity,
Conjuring,
Split, Conjuring, Get Out. Like, these are big movies. Most of those movies aren't good.
Also, they produced what's the drumming one that
Whiplash.
Like,
Blumhouse takes a chance on lots of shit.
And I'll say this, like,
but they're known for the horror movies, for sure.
Say, yeah, they're not, but
they made Split and Get Out happen.
I was gonna say
those are big. Especially Get Out. That's a big movie.
They take a lot of risks, and like 7 out of 10 times it sticks. Like, they have a very good track record.
Even if I don't think they're good movies, they make money.
Yeah, I'll say decent movies. Like, most of their movies are better than bad.
Like Paranormal Activity, is not a great series, but it was novel enough that it made tons of fucking money.
Yeah,
they were smart with marketing.
Yeah.
So, oh boy.
God dang it. I don't want to watch a Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
I actually am totally down to see this.
That makes me upset because I don't want to watch it.
Because it's going to be about spooky animatronics.
Yeah, I know.
And they're going to be real animatronics. When they announced that, I'm like, that's enough for me.
Okay.
Even if it's terrible, I'm down.
All right.
Because I don't see horror movies in theaters anymore.
Yeah.
Because usually they're terrible or I don't get to them in time.
Yeah.
Because like, oh boy, I want to see Jigsaw on Halloween or Happy Death Day.
Happy Death Day was actually not bad.
I've heard it was like fine.
Yeah, I watched it with Isaiah. It was actually
I heard the trailer made it look worse than it was.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's fine.
It's a fun movie.
Like it's a dumb Halloween movie.
Yeah.
But not in a way that's like super insulting. It's like
it's
a popcorn muncher. It's a hey, you can make it with your girlfriend in the theater this movie.
It's
kind
a
of movie.
Quality cheese. And it doesn't make you upset. I'll say that. If you watch that movie, even if you spend money on that movie, you're not gonna go
like the Saw series is bad, but it makes me laugh.
Yeah.
At least Saw 1 is still like a good movie.
So Five Nights at Freddy's coming out. When is that happening?
They haven't really announced nothing yet because they're still making it.
Okay, it's in way pre-production then.
Yeah, Blumhouse announced it like on the 12th.
Got it.
Like, which it's so crazy. Fucking Chris Columbus, who made a turd, and then a couple I would not call the Home Alone movies like super classics, but there's like super big pop culture things.
I'll say they're classics.
Home Alone 1.
Yeah, the first one for sure is a classic.
And the first Harry Potter 2. You know what? I don't even know how much I even like the first Harry Potter movies. The first. I watched them when I was a baby boy. And I watched them when I was a bit older, and I was like, they're movies.
I watch them all the time. They're
because I know
weird.
How many directors did the Harry Potter series go through?
So many.
Because in like the 7th movie, get like 2 different directors for those movies, or am I wrong? I don't watch them.
No. Remember, the 7th one split in 2 parts.
That's what I mean. Like, were those 2 movies the same director?
I believe so.
Okay.
It was all filmed, I think, at the same time. Like,
oh, yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but of all people and all studios, that's making the Five Nights movie, which means it might not be terrible.
Yeah, it might
or
not.
If it's terrible, I can laugh at it. Because
here's what it probably means, because it's Blumhouse. It'll probably be fine.
I hope
it'll be like 5 out of 10, like at least.
And
probably.
as sad as it is to say, for a modern horror movie, that's not that bad.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
See, and that hurts me to say.
Yeah. Well,
because horror movies, we get like one good horror movie a fucking year.
What's the last great horror movie we got?
That came out recently.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I think I saw one, but I
don't know if I want
Split counts.
Split probably.
That was a decent movie.
I was gonna say It, but I think Split's better. Yeah.
It's like
it's a great movie. It's not a great horror movie.
It's a good movie, but
it's not a great horror movie.
I think Split's a better movie.
Yes. I think Split's a better horror movie.
Yeah. It has better tension and drama, and it doesn't make me upset when it tries to be scary.
Yeah.
Because it made me upset when it tried to be a horror movie. When it was being like just kids hanging out and having to deal with this fucking problem, I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah, it was the best modern Goonies movie.
But then when the Spooky Clown Man comes out, I'm like, man, this is stupid. This music is bad.
Some of it was stupid, but anyways. Are there other movie stuff? I don't even know.
Oh, yeah, I have one more.
Okay.
Well, I have 2 more, but I'll talk about one more for sure.
One more.
Remember the little
Titans
movie that could, Kung Fury?
They're
making another one. I don't know if you know that.
Nope.
And I don't know if you're familiar with a man, Michael Fassbender.
Heard of him.
Are you familiar with someone?
He's one of my favorite actors, actually.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Less so, but I know
Michael Fassbender is set to star in Kung Fury 2.
What?
To star the lead man in Kung Fury 2.
All right, I'm down. Yes.
And Arnold is going to show up for whatever reason. I don't know why, but he's like, yeah, I'm gonna be there too.
Cool.
I'll be back.
All right,
or whatever.
Because I need to.
That was fucking Rocky. I don't know why I said that.
I think having I've
Oh no, he won't be he won't be starring, but he's joining the cast. That's what it says.
Michael Fassbender? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Michael Fassbender will be joining the cast as an unknown capacity.
Okay. I need to see Michael Fassbender do silly action stuff.
Like,
I've never seen him do that.
I don't like Kung Fury as much as everyone else does.
I don't think I've ever seen it, but I know
and I don't hate it as much as the haters do.
Yeah.
Because it suffers from the lol so random problem. But there are bits in it that I legitimately think are really funny. Mm-hmm. Like Hitler shooting a pistol through the phone and the bullets hit the people in the police station. And I do enjoy just spoofing 80s action movies in general.
Just play what's the game that's better than Far Cry Blood Dragon?
Hotline Miami 1?
Blood Dragon.
Hotline Miami 1. It's a better game than...
I never played Hotline Miami, so...
Hotline Miami 1.
All right,
yeah, that's my answer.
Right.
Of like 80s inspired games, only good one I can think of is Hotline Miami 1.
Okay.
And yes, I just said Hotline Miami 2 isn't very good. It's not.
You love Hotline Miami 1, so yeah.
Well, because Hotline Miami 2 has... That series has wonky AI and door physics, and 2's level design is generally not good or bad.
Okay.
But the mechanics are better. It's such a fucking shame.
Anyways. So yeah,
that's gonna happen. That's fucking crazy.
With Michael Fassbender, with my boy, starring in such films as Frank and X-Men First Class.
Don't shut up, Frankie. That's all that matters.
Frank's great, and he's great in Frank.
It's such a charming little movie.
It's such a.
I don't love it, but I think it's a really charming.
It's like
movie.
9 out of 10 in my opinion. It's like my favorite small movie.
You have to see more small movies.
Notice I didn't say indie movie because that's not an indie movie. It has a budget.
Is it? Yeah, it does. But it's a small movie.
It's a small movie. It's a small film.
It's a smaller film like Lady Bird is, or like how 3 Billboards Outside of, like, it's a smaller film, but it's good. Mm-hmm. It's a super charming film that shouldn't have the budget that it did.
That and The Lobster are like my 2 favorite small movies.
Lobster's awesome.
Lobster's... I can talk about Lobster forever.
We talked about it like last week.
Yeah.
I also, when you said that, I didn't know you actually watched that movie or knew what it was.
I love that movie.
So when the fuck will we ever bring up the movie The Lobster?
I don't know.
It's such this never came up between us.
This is one of those podcasts where it could at any time.
Yeah, that's what, like, you've seen The Lobster in my head. I'm like, oh, you saw that movie? Weird.
Yeah, love that movie. Anyways,
you want to talk about the other one more movie thing?
No, I want to talk about the Spyro trilogy thing that may or may not happen.
Ganasty Gnork.
So if it's the Skylanders,
no. That's not what it is.
Okay.
The rumor is that it's going to be the trilogy remaster. But like the Crash one.
I know.
But they are not going to do the Skylander stuff. That is a different franchise.
I'm saying, is it going... what is Spyro going to look like is all I'm saying.
He will look like the GBA covers.
Okay, cool.
That's what I speculate he'll look like.
All right.
As close as what I can think of.
Yeah. As long as he doesn't look like the Skylanders one, I'll be fine.
Or looks like the other weird God of War magic games. Mm-hmm. Where they look like super realistic.
Wait, does this mean... Okay, so if we're getting a...
It's a rumor for sure, but...
Okay, if we're getting it's a rumor. It's probably going to happen, though.
But it's Laura Kate Dale. Like, that's a big deal.
This is one of those rumors that, like...
Laura Kate Dale got the Switch rumors.
Yeah, this is like one of those rumors that's like 9 out of 10, probably going to happen.
And it makes sense.
It makes so much... Okay, so if we're getting...
And it's weird, I actually care way more about this one than Crash. Because...
So which...
Because actually, I never even bought the Crash one. As much as I love the Crash trilogy, I still never bought it.
So you're a Team Spyro more than Team Crash.
Actually, if you were to in terms of gameplay, I'm not. But in terms of like seeing a game look good, way
I know what you mean.
Into Spyro. Because Spyro is open worlds. Mm-hmm. They're big worlds to look at. And the Crash games they're like fake 2.5D platformers that are very linear things.
Well, it was a perfect...
And I think the remakes...
The reason why Crash is what is so important as a series is because it was the perfect transition from games before the PlayStation 1 to games after the PlayStation 1.
I think actually it came out around the time 64 came out, like the first one.
Well, exactly. That's why I'm saying...
But it had less... It was codenamed Sonic's ass game. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think what it really was, like the remasters look great. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of how Crash looks design-wise, but he doesn't look terrible. I think they lost some of the feel of the colors, like the color palette.
It's not as...
I don't think it's like it's because
you know what it feels like I don't know how much you can relate to this because I don't know how much you know about phones, but like imagine like looking at the same scene on an iPhone compared to like a Galaxy phone, like
right,
like with an iPhone, like and I'll put the original as more like an iPhone than because like with the remaster of Crash is way too...
They're too clean.
It's too clean, too vibrant, too much, which is like an OLED screen.
Well, it's also a weird contradiction as well because if you look at the concept art for the Crash games, which I think if you go to the Naughty Dog website, they still totally they have to have them there. Because I used to go to that website when I was a kid to get Crash wallpapers because I loved Crash so much. Cool. The concept art to game is decently close in terms of getting the style and colors correct.
Now here's
I think it's because like it's too bright.
Yeah.
And I guess it's because it's probably just a brain thing. Being able to see all the detail makes it look more plain than what they were going for. Because they looked really lush.
It was creative back when.
I think what it really is, it's my brain
Did you hear that?
filling out. Yeah, I heard someone crash and die. I think it was legitimately. It's my brain filled in details that weren't there. So I like how they look when I have to fill it in with my brain. I think it's just nostalgia. That's all it really is in my brain. But Spyro, as long as they still have like the gorgeous like skyboxes with those really cool colors, because they designed the games to be that way, and if they get the original composer Stuart Copeland, aka the drummer of the Police, back in, and if they don't get him, I'm not buying them.
Fair, I get it.
I love the Spyro music so much, and if they fuck up the skyboxes and the music, then I don't care.
All right, now here's what I want. And you're gonna
get Tom Kenny to be Spyro. Because he was Spyro in 2 and 3, so just get him for all.
No, and he would. He's Tom Kenny. He would. He likes being a voice actor. He'll do it. Here's what I want, and you'll disagree with me on this. I want a new collab game with Crash and Spyro.
Oh, like those shitty GBA ones that I still like.
Yeah. Okay, so you will agree with me.
They're not good games. They're shitty mini games. But I like them.
I know this won't happen
because Crash got to fight a nasty Nork. Wow.
Yeah. Now. Imagine this is all lead up to a brand new original Crash and Spyro team up game.
That would be terrible. I'd rather them get for like, hey, we brought your games back. Let's not make a new one of either of these. Let's put them together for money. Yeah, that'd be terrible and cynical. I don't want that. Not so soon. Hell no.
Okay.
I want to see the team at Vicarious Visions who remastered the Crash games.
Just another
to try to make their own Crash game.
Another CTR.
No. Because Mario Kart 8 is what CTR used to be. Yeah. So I'm fine with kart racers now. Yeah.
All right.
That's why CTR is a better game than Mario 64.
Yeah, everyone,
No, not everyone. People still don't agree with me on that. It is a better kart racing game.
I'll say this. There is a debate to be had about this.
Mario Kart 64 has better tracks. CTR has better gameplay.
Has better game feel.
It's literally because the boost system is so much better than 64.
This is an argument that I have no skin in.
Because if you
play either of those games.
Because it has a hop mechanic where if you hop off a high enough ledge and you hit the ground, you get a boost. If you drift and time your boosts, you get 3 if you're good.
So it's just Mario Kart 8.
Yes, but look at how long it took to get to that.
Oh yeah, I know.
That's why when you saw me play Mario Kart 8, I'm like, oh, it's good because it plays like CTR. Oh, actually, it plays like the Sega All Stars Racing game. That's why.
So before, I think we're just gonna end the podcast on the Black Panther stuff because there's other stuff I have on here, but I think we can finish it out with just Black Panther stuff.
Baby boy's tired again.
I am.
He stretches muscles at work and he needs to go take a nap.
I did physical activity once. But first I want to shout out a YouTube channel called The Consoles. That's CONSOULS. They make jazz versions of video game music, and not just like basic ass video game music. They do like songs that they think are cool from obscure levels of video games, and like we'll do that one. They did like a faster paced version of the Gates of Hell theme for Bayonetta. And it's super rad.
I cannot wait until you hear the Bayonetta version of Fly Me to the Moon.
What do you mean? I've heard it. It's the theme song for that game.
In context of like a moment.
I have. I'm so far into this game. It's happened so many times.
There's a moment where it works the best.
All right. Because it happens all the time and I love it. Every time it does.
Because there's only 2 moods. There is Bayonetta's Fly Me to the Moon and there's Evangelion Fly Me to the Moon. Okay. Only 2 versions of that song.
Fair.
Only 2 ways to live my life are those 2 songs.
Okay.
Only emotions I feel are those 2 songs.
I like the Bayonetta one.
I like both because I feel 2 moods. It's only those 2.
Got it.
Well, also, that's the extent of human emotion is those 2 songs.
Yeah.
That and Toto's Africa.
All right. Shut up. Let's talk about the Black Panther movie. Because this is a movie that's been I'll say this, and I think most people can let me rephrase that. Andres here will agree with me on too much hype.
People are insane. What was up with that?
There's too many big boy conversations happening for a Marvel movie.
Yeah, right? Like you guys are being tricked.
Well, it's not even
the people who got like sucked into the hype because that's not fair. The people who are making this the people like the article writers and the personalities.
I won't even say they got tricked because the actors and writers themselves fell into the same trap. which upsets
that
me.
too.
So you say
But the people who are making it, not for entirely cynical reasons. They were excited for what they were making.
Yeah, well, they actually.
But what the marketing did to what they were talking about, and the machine of Hollywood,
the creators of this movie, like actually, I think genuinely thought they were doing something memorable here.
And in some points, they objectively are.
Yeah, sure. And
there's reason to celebrate in terms of hype for that.
Yes, there are.
We can get into that later.
Yeah.
But the outrage over like reviews that are not like a perfect and
because this is really one of those.
It's the loud minority who are making the majority even dumber, causing all this dumb stuff to happen.
I think it's bigger.
You always say this, and I always think you're wrong on it.
I know, I do, but
because you're way too cynical on this shit.
I am, and I'm more in.
Because remember, most people just watch a movie and then they go home and take a shit and go to bed. It's not that important to most people.
You know what? Here's where I think I'm more right than ever about that. Today at work, the truck driver asked me, "Hey, brother, did you see Black Panther yet?"
It's premiere week. Like that's the week. But
I know.
In a month, it will not be this.
Listen. But he said, like, this movie's so important, man. We gotta watch this. This is a black person, and I'm a black person.
That part of it, I understand that. I agree with it.
Oh, I don't. That's why
I don't think it's as big as other movies that did this that didn't get that kind of talk. But they're not wrong.
I disagree. I don't think it's that big of a moment in Black history for this movie.
In Black history in media. That's it.
I don't know.
Getting to see the cast in this setting with this budget from this cynical studio is the important thing. That's it. That's where I stop it at. This is not 12 Years a Slave.
No.
This is not.
It's not, but it feels like they wanted it to be. And people are treating it as... Yeah, okay, there you go.
Because 12 Years a Slave is an important film.
I think 12 Years a Slave... I haven't seen it.
12 Years a Slave is a work of art.
I haven't seen that movie and I need to.
Black Panther is a Marvel movie.
Exactly.
That's what it is. That's what I was kind of... I didn't know about this hype. I heard about just the high review scores.
Yeah.
I was going in, I was like, let's hope they do something with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because of what they could do with it.
Yeah.
What they showed in the movie.
See, so I guess we'll get to we'll try to be as spoiler free as possible here.
And just for people to know, it's a Marvel movie. It's all right.
Yeah.
You can go see it.
Quick, too long didn't read review is it's one of the better Marvel movies.
I don't even agree with that.
I
put it like in the lower end, honestly.
And here's why I say this is there's a lot of Marvel movies and a lot of them are really bad.
Like it's not as generic.
And the more I watch them, the more I realize how bad they are.
Okay.
They get worse the more times you watch them.
Ant-Man is at my bottom because I refuse to see it.
Yes, fair.
I've seen 10 minutes of it and I refuse because Edgar Wright.
I've watched that movie and I still put it at the bottom.
I refuse. It's like
that's fine.
Like Thor, I put like Ant-Man and like Thor 2 at the bottom.
And then Thor 1.
And Thor 1, at the bottom.
Yeah.
I put like Ultron at the bottom kind of like area.
Yeah.
But like this is no Iron Man 1. Not even close.
No, but I'm not saying it's. It's
not even that. Look, and that's what bumps me out.
This isn't a like binary scale for me. But I'm saying if you were to lay out every single Marvel movie, right, Black Panther would be on the upper end of that scale.
I think I put it like in the middle. Like it's not like middle, like lower middle. Like it's not that. It's
either way.
I thought about it for like a day or two. It's like it's not. I don't think it's that for me.
Okay. Either way, it's a fine movie. It's another Marvel movie.
You'll be entertained, most likely.
Yeah,
for some bit of it at least.
Yeah,
even though I wasn't all the way. I checked out at a point and I was like, man, this sucks.
So we're gonna try to be as spoiler free as possible here, but
and it's a very simple plot. It's hard. It's not hard for us to not like. We can dance around the spoilers pretty easily. It's a very simple story, which is a problem with the movie.
It's a problem. All right. One of the things I want to say is, and we agreed on this before we started recording, is this movie feels like it wanted to be more than it could be because it's a Marvel film.
It's like 3 interesting movies thrown into one Marvel.
Yeah, and
it's like a gumbo.
And the part that suffers the most is Black Panther himself as a character.
Yeah, like I enjoy him not being a snarky Marvel boy,
but he's nothing.
But I don't get to see him grow.
He's nothing. There is zero character.
His personality is that he's like a confident king, and he's proud, he's respectful. He tries to be kind to his people. But that's more background on him.
Yeah.
Other than growth, because what I thought we were gonna get.
He's a good boy who ends up also a good boy.
Being a good boy.
Yeah, that's it. There's no arc.
He ends where you could see where he would go, which is where he started in the beginning of this movie.
Exactly. I can see the outcome, like because the realization that he has at the end of the movie, I can see him getting to by himself, like from the character himself.
Yeah.
Like I wish there was more
growth,
like T'Challa himself. I
want an arc
was
from
boring.
him.
Yeah, same.
And it's not like a fault on. I think it's the big problem with this movie is the script and the Marvel safety. the Marvel
Yeah.
Disney safety net
No,
of
totally.
this movie.
I think I
because
agree.
the actors in this movie, except for we talked about it.
Martin Freeman.
Yeah, he's not great in this.
Yeah.
Everyone in this movie is pretty good.
Yeah.
I like everyone in their roles a lot, actually.
Gollum was great.
Yeah, everyone's making the joke, but yeah, Gollum was really good at being a nasty boy.
Yeah. Michael B. Jordan was the best.
I know people who don't like his performance.
Really?
I like it.
I think he was the best.
I like the contrast, actually. I think it kind of works.
I think Michael B. Jordan's character
was where I got excited.
Yeah, he was the best part of the movie.
And then they throw him away for 50 minutes.
See, and that's my biggest gripe with this is
because his scene in the museum is really fun.
It's like, so good,
neato.
And then we forget about him.
And then we go do just like other shit for 40 minutes.
And then he comes back, and then he's like, "Oh, cool, he's back."
And then the story starts again.
Yes,
it's like, what?
Yeah, and that middle part is when you really feel the most Disney.
It's where I checked out. I was like, "We're doing."
Yeah,
like the car chase with the spear
that sucked.
The spear stuff I liked. Actually,
the one
parts of the car scene I liked. Cool, it went on too long. The casino scene was.
Here's 2 jokes I'm going to spoil. Because it ruins the entire film.
The comedy is not very good in this movie.
They made
2 jokes I like.
They made a "what are those" joke, and they made a "I whip my hair back and forth."
Yeah,
those two. When I was watching it, like me and my friend looked at each other and were like, "This movie sucks." We're like, they just ruined it. They made it from like an 8 out of 10 to like 5.
I was baffled. I was like, how did this make it to a Marvel movie?
Yeah,
because correct me if I'm wrong. Do they?
No,
references do not happen in these movies very often, if at all.
Like modern, or their attempt to like
internet culture stuff. Like that's weird.
Never happens. They
not even like good ones.
No,
not even funny ones.
You can argue with Deadpool, but like that's the character, so it's fine.
It's somewhat excusable. Exactly. I don't like them all. It's kind of excusable.
But like you can't do Deadpool without it. And that
Deadpool,
makes sense.
It doesn't bother me because it's a joke every minute.
Yeah.
So it's like if one falls, whatever,
exactly.
Another one might work. So it's fine. It just keep throwing shit at the wall.
Black Panther's frustrating because it takes itself very seriously, and then
when it doesn't, really bad. And then when it doesn't, it's not funny.
Yeah, it's serious, bad joke. Serious, bad joke.
I've heard some people talk about like they'd rather like some people I've heard say like it's too serious. I wish they went for more jokes. I legit would have wanted the story to be all serious.
Yeah,
because of the character. Because the character is generally pretty serious.
Okay, so I don't think I mentioned. I don't know anything about Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is he was the first Black superhero.
He's the biggest and strongest.
Yeah, he was the first Black superhero in the 60s, and it was a big deal when that happened. After that, I never read a single Black Panther comic.
He's a strong hero.
Yeah,
which is also another problem with this movie.
It's a
I am
Superman
never ever concerned about Black Panther's safety and well-being.
Well, they have to make him weak for him to be interesting.
He gets shot in the fucking head.
They purposely. The only way Black Panther is interesting in the fights is they have to purposely make them weak. Away. They take the powers away and then he fights. That's what's interesting.
Yeah.
And then he gets stabbed twice in the same spot, and I was like, one thing that also upset me. It's a whatever. Someone dies. Spoiler: someone dies and they get their throat cut, and there's zero blood.
Yeah.
Oh, no. It's one of those things that like most people don't care, but I think like
it was super bad looking.
It puts me out of the movie so much.
Also, other thing with this movie, some of the CG looks like shit.
Yeah, which is
it's weird
because
some of it looks gorgeous.
Yeah, the world is really cool.
Like the small bit, like the world is cool. They show none of it. They show like one street set, like a throne room that's from the prequels.
Yeah,
and like a cliffside.
And everything,
half of it, that cliffside part, half of it, like design wise, is gorgeous.
Like when they do
the shot when they look up at all the people, it looks like the prequels, like shitty.
Yeah, when
graphics.
they do that, anytime you see like the big land, like the first time you see the city is like
it's cool.
It's cool, but
it's a sky shot. Like it's
anytime they're in the snow, that looked. It looked like they were in a stage, like
like it's like a sound stage.
Like they were like too close to the green screen. Like I can see their green reflection off of them.
Like it looks fake in a lot of the parts of this movie, and it's a Marvel movie.
It almost felt rushed.
Yeah, like bits of it are like unfinished, like the CG Rhino.
Yeah,
which looks like shit.
Right? Yeah, it looked like they were they had like another couple months to go on the
and like those CG. Really bad, like when they put the shields down, it's like that force field.
Yeah,
it looks like it's done by like a YouTuber.
Uh-huh. This movie, like the graphics, look like it was made in like 2008 or something.
Yeah, it's like dated graphics. Yeah, it's weird. It's
very strange
because some parts of it look good.
Yeah,
like the sky that they do when they're like when they're like visiting dead people looks gorgeous. It's it's beautiful.
That was cool. Yeah, I like that part. Like the ethereal plane thing was rad.
And when they show it with the apartment, I'm like, oh, this is a fantastic like looking design.
That scene was so good.
Yeah, it's the best part of.
All right, yeah. Can I just like jerk off Michael B. Jordan for a second? Like he
had to say that. You know what he did before this? Fantastic Four. He was a Human Torch. I'm glad this saved his career.
Oh, thank God. Because
he looks cool as shit
I
in
knew
this
him
movie.
because he was in...
He's in decent stuff.
He's in a lot of stuff. He was in Chronicle, right?
Was he?
Wasn't he the black guy in Chronicle?
Was that him?
I believe it was.
I'm gonna look this up while you talk.
All right, yeah. I think I might be racist. But I don't think I am. I think this is actually a thing. I think he was the black guy in Chronicle. But Michael B. Jordan's character, again, I knew nothing about his...
Oh, shit, he was a guy in Creed.
Oh, God, yeah, you're right.
Which the director of this movie also made.
Oh, interesting.
The director also made Fruitvale Station.
I don't know what that is.
Which are both... I've only seen Creed. Creed is way better than it has any right to be.
Yeah.
For being a Rocky sequel, it's an awesome movie.
Yeah.
It has a one-take boxing match, and I came everywhere because it's so well directed. And it's a boxing match in one take.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Real good.
And then I think about that, and then I think about like this movie. I see none of what like this guy's old work in this. Like the action scenes aren't that interesting, and they're kind of like the opening scene of this movie is bad.
Yes, Michael B. Jordan is in Chronicle.
He's in Chronicle. He's in Chronicle.
Okay, cool. I'm not. Yeah, that's where I saw him first.
Yeah,
and I love Chronicle, and so. But anyway, like I said, I don't know much about Black Panther. Like
Michael B. Jordan's character in this movie is the highlight of it.
Yeah. So I don't even remember what's the villain's name? I don't even remember. Killmonger. Okay. See, I don't even remember. Such a great take on how to do a perfect villain. Not perfect, but like a great villain.
Sympathetic villain.
A villain that their arguments make a lot of sense based off of their personal experiences.
That's how you write a decent villain.
You can disagree with their outcome, but you understand why they are doing the things they're doing, and you kind of feel bad for them. And then they're like, he has a good story arc. The way like his arc, like
on paper, I agree. Sure, on paper, his character is really great.
Yeah.
But what they do and what they show is not.
Well, they don't show enough.
Or it's not enough.
Yeah. I think
it's like too quick. It's like, and they forget about the villain. Like
I think there should have been 2 movies. Like this movie should have been 2 movies, and they should have focused way more on T'Challa.
I think they should have dropped one of the plot lines. Because there's 3 plot lines.
I guess, yeah.
There is Black Panther, well, T'Challa, trying to learn how to be king of his country.
Yeah.
Second plot line. Wakanda, we have ways to help out the rest of the world. They're isolationist.
Right. By the way,
do we do that or not?
Okay,
I know what you're gonna do. No. And then the third one is, well, I don't know. Maybe we should find a way to we should help the people in the world.
Yeah. Which it's hard to do that at the same time you do the other 2 things, because that should be an afterthought rather than you can't have 2 arguments like that at the happening at the same time for a movie like this, because it one of them is obviously like more interesting, and
I was actually interested in the Wakanda. Do we help the world?
They don't develop the isolationist argument very well. Like I don't.
There's barely
like there
are dumbass people who are trying to make like political shit of this, because of course there are, no matter what side they are.
Yeah,
there's no meat in this movie to even do that.
I'll say like
there was gristle to chew on, no meat.
I'm sure everyone's seen this picture. The picture of that Richard Spencer tweeted out of Black Panther wearing a "Make America Great Again" hat, and then he's like, "Black Panther is all right," and that goes through all of their political opinions for Black Panther, and they're all
sure. If
you're
right stupid, opinions. You can make a conclusion like that.
There are, and I'll say this: it's there. I can see why you would make that connection, because Wakanda, like in this movie, like is an isolationist, ethnocentric state.
And it is
that's what it is. Ethnocentric isolationist.
That's the problem. The conflict that they're talking about is somewhat relevant to the current state at large.
Yeah.
Not on purpose, because that's kind of what
maybe I don't know the context from the original, but
there has been talk about that in the past, because it is certain stories they're more about that, sometimes they're not.
Yeah.
It depends on whatever the story calls for, whatever. Mm-hmm. And this was a good opportunity to at least talk about it.
Yeah, with this film, like they didn't,
even because remember, this is not our Earth. This is weirdo Earth with aliens and shit.
Yeah.
So that scenario in this weird version of Earth is super cool. It's not just like
it is if they talk more about it.
We'll talk about the world at large more, not just saying, well, people from this country who look like us are having a bad time.
Yeah, and they don't show it at all. Like zero times do they flash back to black people being oppressed. All they do is say, "Hey guys, black people are being oppressed," and 0 times they show it.
And like they talk about like strife.
There's not even silly scenes of like a black person walking in and being like racially stereotyped, like or having you know what I mean? Like even little things. There is 0 things.
Well, it's merely Michael. We don't see Michael B. Jordan
exactly. And it would be him doing it.
We see his backstory, which is all right.
Yeah.
And then we see him as the villain.
Yeah.
We don't see what makes him. We hear more
about it. We don't see it as much.
Well, we see one reason why he's a villain.
Yeah.
Which is a part of it.
Which is
but the bigger what he talks about, we don't really get to see that as an audience.
Yeah.
Which you can say like, well, they don't need to show it. Well, it makes him weaker.
I think the reason
it makes his argument to them a lot weaker.
I think,
and it feels like it's more like, well, of course he's evil.
I think the reason they didn't show it is because
they want to be safe.
It's a Disney thing, yeah.
They want to be safe.
It makes sense. Why would Disney want to show racism happening in a movie?
Yeah.
Like, of course they're not.
It's a Marvel movie. Yeah, I get it.
Show racism in a movie.
I can get it. Then don't do that plot.
Yeah, but then you couldn't do that character, and then the entire movie falls apart.
I can feel that the director wanted to do that story really badly.
Yeah,
and they just kept neutering it and taking it away.
Yeah, it's a frustrating film. Like it's good.
It bums me out.
It's good. It's a good movie. Like I said, it's
because there are parts of it that are amazing.
Yeah,
the soundtrack, while good, is a little misused in some parts.
It's completely unmemorable.
I like it. I like the tribal stuff mixing with like the modern production sometimes, but they reuse tracks too often and they pick wrong tones to use them in.
I agree with that. I agree with all that. My thing is it's just unmemorable. Like I
completely disagree.
It's a cool feel.
I don't remember a single Marvel soundtrack that is not Guardians.
Avengers is the big one.
I don't even remember. I've seen that movie several times. It is so. I know the Avengers theme because they just use it a bunch. That doesn't make it a good theme. They just play it a lot.
Okay, so
like I know the Wonder Woman theme because I hear it a lot and people use it for jokes and it sucks. That doesn't mean it's a memorable theme. It's just I hear it, so it's stuck in my brain.
Fair enough. I don't know. It wasn't memorable to me.
It's memorable like the Overwatch theme is memorable.
Okay.
It's just bombastic and big.
Okay.
And they play it a lot, so you know it. That's it.
Good. Right.
But they did something different here. They tried to make a soundtrack that was of the culture of where they were.
I'll say this. This isn't me. I'm not trying to argue against the soundtrack. I liked it. I think it's
memorable because it made me pay attention to scenes more.
Okay.
When it was used right, it upped the scenes in terms of like being interesting and different.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite part about this movie, by far, is the costumes.
Yeah, they're cool.
Costumes and costume design are fucking incredible in this movie. They're so cool. But that's why it bummed me out more because I wanted to see more of that.
Yeah,
I wanted to, because Wakanda, they talk about how awesome it is, and I know how cool it is because I've read the comics. Yeah. But the audience, all you see is the lab.
Someone like
you see some of the mines and a cliff and like
this is a perfect example to get someone like me into Black Panther
because it's so cool.
Because I want to get into it.
Because what they talk about for people who don't know it is interesting. It's like, oh, we are a traditional like African country with modern technology.
Yeah,
which I get some people were talking about like, well, if they have modern technology, why do they still do like that tribal stuff with the fight? Which I think that's like,
well, it makes sense.
I get it and I like it. I can see what people can see why that's like kind of
It's a bad argument because. All right, we're back.
It's them following tradition.
Exactly. Well, it's a bad argument.
Because people would call it like barbaric.
Yeah,
it's violence, and I'm like that's.
Well, because you have to remember what Wakanda is. They are an
isolationist country.
Isolationist country.
Like people do leave, but they are their own. They develop on their own.
Their whole idea of Wakanda is we don't bring outside culture in.
Yeah.
So of course they're not going to.
Yeah, and they're made up of like the culture of their 5 different tribes. It's such an interesting setting that I have liked in the past.
Yeah.
But I wanted more of whatever one of the movies they were trying to make.
Yeah.
Like it's a couple bits. I want to know what I would love if someday if we could find out what Marvel cut out of the film that they wanted to do.
I heard this movie was like the original cut was like something like 5 hours.
Like, oh shit! What?
Yeah,
they filmed 5 hours of like potential movie.
Yeah, like there's so much that they wanted.
Weird.
Which I totally feel.
I can understand, but it's like, damn, filming that much when Marvel was going to say no to a lot of it.
It's like 4 hours and like 45 minutes or something like.
Yeah.
A lot of content that they. It's and it's probably a lot of it is the stuff that Disney was like, nope, can't do.
Yeah.
So, but
are we going to get like a director's cut of a Marvel movie?
I can see them doing like an extended cut.
Can we get an R-rated cut where you actually get blood in the movie? For Christ's sake,
right? Just it wouldn't be hard. Just put it in there. Like you don't have to refilm anything. Just go
put
back
in that bad CGI blood, like it's it's a DC cut of Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, I don't even mind if it's bad CG. I'd
rather there be violence when there's violence on screen.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know this. When you get your neck sliced, there's somewhat blood.
Like in movies,
there's more than 0.
In movies, you can just show the blood. You don't have to show like the grisly details.
Yeah,
just show some blood.
It's a little bit,
but they can't because we're Marvel. We got to market it to everybody.
Yep,
and that sucks every time I have to remember that.
Yeah,
because I keep tricking myself into forgetting about that stuff.
Oh no, it's ingrained in my brain.
Because where I got some hope was Guardians 1.
Ah, fair.
Where I went, wow, we're not doing the thing anymore. We still had the big dumb villain and the MacGuffin. But everything else was like its own.
It was differently paced.
Movie.
It was its own
and then Guardians 2 tried to be too jokey.
Yeah.
But it was still like, I still liked it.
Well, also Guardians 2 tried too hard to like, hey, remember Guardians 1?
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, I did. That was a good movie. I saw it on my birthday and I had a good time.
Get out of here, James Gunn. Like, I know what you did.
James Gunn, I like you sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes, but you go too overboard.
You go a little too hard in the paint with your jokes and like maybe hold back.
All right. I think that's enough. Okay, I was going to end that. Whatever. I ruined the ending. Cool. Perfect.